Hey y'all, Jamie here, proud 56-year-old trans woman from New Orleans. So, where last I left off was before the holiday. I needed to get some things done and deal with some health stuff. I'm fine. I'm doing much better than I was before, and I appreciate you all so much and appreciate people asking about me. Now, where last I left off, I was laying down to get pumped with silicone. Yes, again. This was I think my fourth time getting pumped with silicone. And, I had only had my breast done before this. And we go into this bedroom. I'm at this lady named India's house. She's a showgirl in New Orleans. And yeah, India knew a guy from Miami named Mark from Miami. Mark from Miami is very well known back in the old days with the girls for doing silicone, right? So Mark shows up, him and his lover, and we they make sure that we eat first. You have to eat first because of the lidocaine. They inject you with lidocaine to numb everything up before they start injecting you. And so, yeah, in order to not get sick, you don't want to get an upset stomach or faint. So, yeah, it's important that you have some food in your stomach before you use lidocaine like that. So now I had eaten. We go into the bedroom and I lay down on the bed. Mark explains to me the viscosity of silicone and how it is heavy and thicker than mineral oil. They will try to pass off mineral oil in the silicone pumping party sometimes, and they will pump people with mineral oil, floor wax. Seriously, floor wax. I have known vegetable oil. I've known people to use all sorts of things in these pumping parties. Not on me. I've always been very lucky. I've always gotten real silicone, so not on me. But anyway, Mark laid me down on the bed and he proceeded to mark my breast and my hips and my butt. And he, marked me with a pen first where he wanted to, like, where he was aiming for the most and stuff like that. And then he proceeded to use the syringes and numb me with lidocaine. And he injected my breast and my hips and my butt. And I got it all done at the same time. You know, when he got finished with one area, he went to the other. I think he did my breast first. Yeah, he did my breast first and then did my lower body. And silicone hurts. I mean, yeah, does it hurt? Yeah, it hurts. It does hurt. It you feel the muscle kind of splitting when it goes in the muscle, like they're injecting it directly into the muscle, and you can feel the tissues tearing. That's what you feel. And once that starts happening, and they fill up the area with the silicone that they're going to use, and they've got you as full as they're going to make you. Then comes the molding part. This comes the shaping part of the procedure. That is the shaping is my least favorite part of it because that's when they latch on with their hands. Yeah. Like they're kneading dough, like you're making pasta or making bread. And they just start kneading and shaping and squeezing and squishing and moving and pushing and rubbing and massaging until they get it into the shape that they want. That's what you do. Because if you don't do that, you're going to have lumps and bumps and you're just going to see big pockets of silicone. You're not going to see it spread out and like massaged into the tissue and worked in to the muscles. You've got to. Does it destroy the muscle tissue? Absolutely. Absolutely, it does. Can it cause nerve damage? Yeah. My left thigh, to this day, for the past, I would say 25 years, for the last 25 years, my left thigh has had a numb strip that runs about 8 inches long down the side of my thigh. And it's been numb like it's been asleep, like when your foot's asleep. It feels like that. And it's felt like that for all of these years. And I've just gotten used to it. I never got infections or anything like that. I had my silicone scraped out in my breasts. That's another story for another day. So Mark is doing all of my body work. He gets done. And I go home and I'm healing. And Mickey knows that I am on the hunt for a vehicle. Now, once I've healed up after a few days of the silicone shit, it's time to get humping again. and I wanted a vehicle. We had a vehicle, but I wanted another vehicle. I wanted my own vehicle, and I wanted a vehicle for doing shows and stuff. I decided I wanted a van. So I wanted to have a van so that I would basically have a rolling dressing room to go anywhere I wanted to go. Now, I found this precious little Chevy Astro minivan. It was for sale. It was for sale for like $3,500. It was $3,500 in those days. And it was, I think it was like, maybe it was like 4 years old or 5 years old, something like that. And it was for 3,500. It was blue and white, and it had blue interior, like blue crushed velvet interior. Yeah. And it had like blue crushed velvet curtains on the inside. No, wait. Yes, it had little curtains and mini blinds. It had mini blinds on the windows and little curtains. So it was like a little room in the back. And it had 4 captain's chairs in the front and like a back bed. It was a back bench seat that folded out into a little bed if you needed it. Loved this thing. Now, I asked my sugar daddy at the time to buy it for me. Okay. So I go to the dealership to go buy my new van, and my sugar daddy wrote me a check for it. And I'm like, yes, I'm going to go do this. And my sugar daddy, I used to call him Ron Wrecker. Ron Wrecker, because he always wrecked my nerves, honey. He wrecked my goddamn nerves. And this was no exception. I walk into the dealership, they go to do the paperwork, and the fucking check bounces. And if y'all want to know what happens next, honey, y'all know the routine. Be here next time, and I will too. I love you all. I love you all for watching, and I love you for the comments. I will talk to you later. Bye, y'all.